Consignment. We will see the meaning of consignment. Consignment means the transaction of sending goods by one person to another who is to sell goods on behalf of the first person. The person who sent the goods is known as consignor, and the person whom the goods are sent is known as consignee. The legal relationship between these two persons is that of principal and agent. Then we'll see the main features of consignment transactions. First, ownership retention. The consignor retains ownership of the goods until they are sold by the consignee. The consignee does not own the goods but act as an agent. Second one, risk of loss. The risk of loss or damage to the goods generally remains with the consignor until they are sold. However, this can vary based on the terms of the consignment agreement. Then, third one, sales commission. The consignee earns a commission or fee based on the sale of the goods. This commission is typically a percentage of the sale price. Payment terms. Payment for the goods sold is made by the consignee to the consignor only after the sale is completed. The consignee typically has a specified period within which to remit payment. Then, inventory control. The consignee is responsible for managing the inventory and need to provide regular report to the consignor about the status of the goods and sales. Returns. Unsold goods may be returned to the consignor at the end of the consignment period depending on the terms of the agreement. Record keeping. Both parties need to maintain accurate record of the goods consigned, sales made, commission earned, and payment due. The next point, agreement terms. The specific terms of the consignment arrangement such as duration, commission, rates, and responsibilities are outlined in a consignment agreement. Marketing and sales effort. The consignee is usually responsible for marketing and selling the goods, though the consignor might also be involved in marketing efforts. Then we see the distinction between consignment and sale. First one, we'll just see the basis of distinction, consignment and sale. First one, nature of relationship. The relationship between the consignor and the consignee is that of principal and agent in case of consignment, whereas in case of sale, the relationship between the seller and the buyer is that of creditor and debtor. Second differences, ownership and possession of goods. In case of consignment, only the possession of and not the ownership is transferred to the consignee. Again I repeat here, only the possession and not the ownership is transferred to the consignee. Whereas in case of sales, both ownership and possession is transferred from the seller to the buyer. Then third one, risk of goods. Risk remain with the consignor because ownership remains with the consignor. In case of sales, risk remains with the buyer as the ownership in the goods is transferred to the buyer. Then fourth one, pro forma invoice. Consignor prepare a pro forma invoice only. In case of sales, Seller prepare a sales invoice. Again repeat that point, pro forma invoice. In case of consignment, consignor prepares a pro forma invoice only. Whereas in case of sales, seller prepare a sales invoice. Then fifth point, subject matter of dealing. In case of consignment, only movable property may be its subject matter. Whereas in case of sale, any property may be its subject matter. Then sixth one, profit or loss. In case of consignment, consignment is not anyway concerned with profit or loss from consignment. In case of sales, after the sale is completed, the profit or loss belongs to the buyer. Next we will see the important terms in consignment. Consignor, the owner of the goods, who sent the goods to an agent for sale. Consignee is a person who sells the goods on behalf of the consignor. Then he sells the goods and collect the money from the customers. He will pay the consignor the net proceed, that is proceed expenses minus commission, and provide the consignor an account sales showing all the proceeds and expenses. In case of consignment, the consignor, owner of the goods, he will prepare consignment account, consignee account, goods sent on consignment account, then profit and loss account, that is goods net proceed, then consignor account, commission received account. Then we'll see the features of consignment. The relationship is that of principal and agent. Second one, the consignee sells the goods for the commission. Third one, the actual ownership of goods remains with the consignor. Then fourth one, goods sent on consignment are the property of the consignor until the goods are sold. Fifth one, the consignor should include all the unsold goods on consignment in his closing stock. Then we'll see the objectives of consignment business. First one, to increase the sales by creating a new market for a product. Second one, to get the advantage of the skill of an agent relating to your particular place. Third one, to get the advantage of price differentiation of goods. To get the advantage of price differentiation of goods prevailing at different places. Then we'll see the important terms in consignment. Pro forma invoice. As already we discussed about the pro forma invoice. When the consignor sends the goods to the consignee, he prepares only a pro forma invoice and not an invoice. A pro forma invoice looks like an invoice, but it is not really not the same as invoice. The objective of pro forma invoice is only to convey information to the consignee regarding particular of goods sent and not to make him liable like a trade debtor. Account sales. An account sale is a statement sent by the consignee to the consignor periodically. It contains the information, the following data. First one, sales made, expenses incurred on behalf of consignor, commission earned, advance money paid, the balance of amount due to the consignor. An account sale is different from sales account, which gives the detail of the sales made.